Hello and welcome back to We Dive Deeper. Today my guest is the wonderful Portia Conn. She's always been a bit of a mystery to me in the best possible way, so I can't wait to dive into her brain. And thank you, Portia, for letting me do so. If you haven't checked her band out, check them out right this fucking second. They're called Mauwe, Mauwe. They're hands down, I'd say, my favourite band of last year. Just so good, electronic pop, feel good, edgy, cool music. Wow, that makes me sound like a dick. Anyway, check them out, they're so good. Really hope you enjoy. Make sure you follow us on all social media at We Dive Deeper. She, I believe, is just at Portia Conn. Really hope you enjoy. Have already said that. Okay, moving on. Here's the chat. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. How nervous are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
65.
65. Well, I've got something that's going to make you feel amazing.
Okay.
Now, this is a new thing that we're trying here on We Dive Deeper because, you know, the whole thing's new. You are so... I've never seen you hold your leg like that. For the people that can't see, she is contorting herself currently.
Cradling my foot.
I am going to get you to say your life story, essentially, in 1 minute. Now,
do we have a timer? What if I...
Yeah, I'm going to get a timer.
What if there's time to spare?
You have to keep going. You have to think of things that are going on in your personal life right now, maybe, that you could talk about. But what will be... oh my God, I've just gone on my stopwatch. I have been... what's the fucking word? Stopwatching? Timing something for...
313 hours.
But I don't even know how long. Okay, so 60 seconds. And what's fun about this is that we will kind of find out what you think are the most poignant parts in your life, because you'll go to those points. Don't do all the unnecessary bullshit like where you went to school.
Right.
Because this is We Dive Deeper, Portia.
We're diving
You
deep.
know? We don't want the surface level shit.
Yeah, I don't think my life is that eventful though.
Wow, you'd be surprised. Let's see where you go. What's happened to you in your last 27 years of living?
We've talked about this. This is like something that I'm really bad at.
Well, you can give it a good go. Okay, starting from now.
Okay, so I was born in Solihull. Yeah, I'm going to keep talking about that. No, I'm not. Went to nursery, that was fun. Then did schools, they were good. Didn't really enjoy school very much. Left my secondary school, which was all girls, which I hated so much. Left when I was 16 and went to college. How long we got there? Was like, oh, okay, more. Yeah, so then I left, went to college, did music, just scraped by, barely. Wasn't very good at that either. Then did more music, like for real, that is my career, which was good, but obviously I was working as well at the same time. Hated working as well. So bad.
6 seconds.
6 seconds. I don't.
Now I'm 27.
That was horrendous. Oh my God.
So what we got out of that was you went to school and you went to college.
Yeah.
But no, what is interesting is that you scraped by in music.
Scraped by.
And now you're like queen.
But no, I'm not queen.
You are though. You're so talented. Yes, Portia.
Okay.
100%. As I've said in the intro of this, go and check out Mauwe if you haven't yet, because holy mother of God, they were my favourite band last year. And I was lucky enough to just hear a new song, so... Okay, now for the really deep stuff.
Okay.
There are 70 questions, Portia, and you're going to pick a number between 1 and 70.
Okay. 70.
70, okay. This is a good one. When do you feel most vulnerable?
That is a good question.
It is, isn't it? I'm not even sure I could answer that. Actually, yes, I fucking could.
Really?
Yeah.
I think around people that I can't relate to. I feel like I can't relate to.
Yeah, is that many people, do you reckon?
Maybe it's around new people, but new people that I know through friends that don't know people that kind of do things similar to me.
Oh,
in
right,
that
okay.
sense.
So if they're not in the kind of same field, you're like, how the hell is anyone going to get me?
Yeah.
Totally.
Or Yeah, I think I feel vulnerable because I don't really know how to be or explain myself. Yeah.
Why do you think you need to explain yourself though?
Not explain myself, but I just feel like I've always had this thing where I felt like doing music, sometimes people just don't get it and they just think that, you know, you don't really do anything.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
And I think it's like a different kind of, I think our brains work differently.
Yeah. And so it's harder for people to relate to us, which makes us sound like we're above the rest. It's not that at all.
100% no, that's not the case. But
because it's such a abnormal job, really, like so abnormal, when you do meet new people, you just kind of go into it accepting, like, I don't even really want to start talking about music because I know that they're not really going to get it.
Yeah.
Which again, sounds arrogant, but it's more like if I just said, I, get money off Patreon and then I do this, people just like, what? Fucking, why are you not in an office, you stupid bitch? Do you know what I mean?
But I think then, saying that, overthinking is also part of being creative and being.
God, yeah. Are you like an
music.
overly sensitive person like I am?
I think I am.
I reckon you're definitely harder than I am.
Really?
I'm like a fucking petal.
No.
No? You reckon you're really sensitive?
I think I'm sensitive, yeah.
Yeah.
I think people are like harder and more sensitive in different ways.
Yeah.
People handle things differently.
And we probably fall in the creative category that's more sensitive than others.
Yeah.
So you've got to be more vulnerable at other points.
I mean, that's when I'm the most vulnerable.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
I feel like I'm not myself at all. I think I just turn into like a little shell.
Yeah. I'm trying to wonder if I've ever been around you in those kind of situations where you're
you haven't, because if you're there, I would be happy.
That's sweet.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's times where you feel like there's no one.
Yeah. Have you felt like that recently?
I don't know. I haven't.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, I actually haven't.
Okay.
Which is really nice.
That is really nice. I feel like I'm a vulnerable mess constantly.
Really?
Yeah, like, what's that plant or something that as soon as you go near it and it just fucking shields itself?
The little fly catcher bad boy.
Is it that? I actually feel like I've just made this up. Is it even a
Venus
thing?
fly trap. No.
I'm a fly trapper?
I don't think you are.
I don't know. If you spoke to Josh, he'd be like, don't fucking move or breathe near her because she'll cry. Actually, no, it's not that bad.
I breathe near you and move near you all the time, and you've never cried.
Really?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay, right. Pick another question.
You're just like, shut up.
No, I'm really not. Mm-hmm. You want to talk more about vulnerability?
No.
Are you feeling vulnerable right now, Portia?
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit vulnerable right now.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think it's because, I mean, I have said this to you before, but talking is not my forte.
Why do you think that is, though? Because I think you're absolutely fine at talking.
No,
We've never had an issue talking, have we?
You know how bad I am at telling stories. It takes
funny.
me so long. Hence that 1 minute thing. That was a disaster.
Yeah. Well, I wonder where that comes from, though.
Don't know. Oh, did you hear that?
Because you for someone who's so confident and enigmatic and like very friendly, open, outgoing, there's like it feels like there's a side of you that's so insecure because everything you're like, oh, I'm scared to say this. Oh my god, I'm really bad at that. I'm
just
really
because
bad
I feel
at
like I come across like an absolute knob.
But
all
why?
the time.
Because you really don't.
I don't know. I think.
What makes you think you
it's
come
just
across
with
like a
talking?
knob?
It's just with talking.
Is it?
Yeah. On stage, I need to kind of develop a way of being. You know, like so. Not in terms of when when you're in the music, but it's those bits in between.
Oh, trust
where
me,
I'm standing there and I'm like, hello, is everybody all right? No,
yeah, because I guess when it's like when you can sing and you've got the songwriting, there's definitely like a persona there that you can like put across because it's fun. You can be cool with it. You can dance.
What do you do
as
when
soon
the song's
as
over?
Exactly.
When the song is over.
When the talking's there, they actually see that you're a massive dork.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you specifically.
No,
I'm saying me too.
I am. My sister.
But I think that's part of your charm.
My sister came to see a gig the other day and she was like, you need to figure out what you're doing between songs because you look like an idiot.
Why? What do you do? I think you've always been fine.
I just think I'm quite an awkward person. It's all right when I'm with friends.
Right.
But in front, I just think, I don't know, maybe you don't get it.
I don't know. I think I was about to pick the microphone up and drink it then. I've got some wine next to me.
So do I. I'm very happy about it.
Okay, right. Pick another question. I mean, number.
36.
This is my favourite thing to do ever. Ooh. What trait do you envy in others? The ability to talk.
Storytelling.
Really? That's not a thing, surely.
Yeah. Some people are really captivating when they talk, and they are just calm, and it
Like they've just got a confidence and a presence.
Yeah, this oozing confidence, this like charisma, and they can be at a dinner party and just people love them by the end of it because they've got amazing stories and they tell them in the best way, and you're just like, what? Who are you?
Yeah, they're definitely.
I don't go to many of these dinner parties.
Makes you sound very sophisticated.
But I've met a couple of people like that, and but it's not envious in a bad way. I respect it massively. I find it really admirable. I'm just like, yeah, man, you got it.
Yeah.
You know? I wish that I had that.
Who in your life has got that trait? Who's a good storyteller that you know? Dan Broadley's got to be one, right?
Dan Broadley, yeah.
Maybe that's why you feel more vulnerable this episode, because he's just been on one.
Yeah, actually, true. No, there was this guy that I met when I was in Iceland, who I then went to Cannes Film Festival with.
I remember this story.
That was a fun time. Yeah, very adventurous of me.
I know. This is what I'm saying, though. You, on one hand, you're like, I'm really crap at this, and you've definitely got this like insecurity air, but then we actually see...
That's only in a podcast form, because it's like question, answer, do you know what I mean, like interviews.
But the contrast is crazy though, because when you look at your actual life online, you know you and the things that you do and the way you look and like your songwriting stuff, you're this such a cool, mysterious, edgy it's really not. Trust me on that. It's not just me. But then there's this side of you that's like terrified of talking, and I'm just like, the whole thing's the package. It's the whole beauty of the whole thing.
Okay.
It's true though.
I'm gonna burp.
You're gonna burp? Do it in the mic then, so everyone can hear it.
Back in.
Oh wow, that's a talent in itself.
Yeah. But yeah, so I met this guy called Stefano, and he just I don't even know how to explain it. He just knew how to talk to people.
Right. But I feel like
just really interesting.
What is it about
and really
that,
passionate, and with the way that you just choose to talk. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. I'm not eloquent in that sense.
You need to stop putting yourself down. You need to stop.
I know this whole podcast is literally just me putting myself down. I'm not normally like this.
I know, because you're amazing and great, and normally you know it. I don't know why you have this fear of talking. You're absolutely fine with it.
I'm alright when I'm with you in Spoons.
Oh God, how we long to be in Spoons. I didn't tell Josh this, but yesterday I had a solo Spoons, and I had a Pimm's to myself.
Did you?
And a buttermilk chicken burger. And I just sat there alone, but I had the best fucking time.
Do you know what? I did that recently as well.
Why were we not doing it together?
I went to cinema by myself, which I love to do. That's like my favourite thing of all time. Just going to cinema, Watershed, they've always got good films on.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'm hungry, let's go to Spoons, because it's really nearby. And I ordered my food. There was a huge queue, and it turns out it was like one of those student nights. This was like peak time as well, like 9pm, 10pm.
Okay.
There were people everywhere. The busiest I've ever seen a Spoons in my entire life.
Right. Oh
and there was like club music. People were like throwing up on each other. Just like carnage.
Yeah.
And I fought my way to this one little table. I just sat there and I put my headphones on. I was just eating my food. Like, why did I come now? It was just the wrong time. Really.
I love doing things on my own.
Yeah, but not when there's like a club going on around you.
Oh, 100% not that. But in general, like some people really can't do things on their own. They find it scary and like awkward and embarrassing. But I like live for it.
Oh yeah, me too. I love it. I love my company.
You're like fiercely independent, really, aren't you?
I love it.
I fucking love it.
I fucking love it. There is nothing better.
Oh my God, here come the American accent.
Oh my God. What?
Oh no, that's crazy.
What?
Oh, sorry to any Americans listening. We'd love your accent.
No, that's literally, not in a bad way.
Do you mind if I touch on a previous relationship you may have had?
Sure. Go ahead.
No, we're not going to name any names because, I don't know, copyright? No, that's not a thing. But Portia used to go out with / date a pop star?
Pop star.
A British celebrity, let's say, in a pop band. That's as far as we'll go. But how long were you with him?
About, I don't know, just under 2 years.
That's like quite a long time.
I can't really remember.
Because the thing that fascinates me about that relationship is that it's so unlike any relationship that anyone would have been in, because that was kind of like peak then, right?
I think given my age at the time as well.
How old were you?
I think 20.
20. So you hadn't really, like, without
fully
sounding like a
developed.
dick, found yourself, would you say?
Yeah.
Or were you pretty self-assured at that point? Or
100% no.
No.
I think that was the most insecure time of my life.
And he didn't exactly help matters, did he?
True, but I don't think he meant to.
No, 100% not a malicious thing. But that relationship, what was that like for you? Because it was up and down, wasn't it, to say the least? But it didn't leave you feeling most confident. Or What were the things that led up to that made you feel not great?
I think I just think when someone's in the spotlight and you're not, and you've never been anywhere near that kind of life before. I mean, I'm not saying it was rock and roll. It wasn't like.
But it was definitely like they were top of their game at that point.
Not really.
Or were they nearing the end?
No, this was like not even a thing. They weren't really.
But they were well known. If you said to anyone in Britain this band, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, of course."
Do you know what?
What?
I don't think I saw it as that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's why you got more into it then?
Well, no, because I think if you're in a relationship with someone, you don't really think, you don't tend to think so much about how other people see them. You genuinely know them as the person that you're going out with,
You were on the magazine cover of OK or Hello. That's a pretty big giveaway.
Yeah, I don't look very nice in that. I look really tall.
You look amazing, but it's so funny seeing you standing in that group of people.
Elephant, like, hello! I don't have a personal trainer. What are you going to do?
But, like, how did that affect your confidence?
No, it didn't affect it in the best way. I mean, I just think when you have girls chasing you because they know who you are, not me.
Yeah.
The guy that I was with, and it just makes you feel a bit insecure. Like, you're just thinking, what's going on? Do I know everything that's going on?
Yeah. And you feel more kind of like an add-on to their life rather than an actual like.
No,
was it not like that?
No, not really. I just kind of thought to myself, like, is there anything that I don't really know? Like, what's he like with people that are so what's the word I'm looking for? Just people that idolise him.
Yeah.
In a sense.
You don't know what he's kind of like when you're not there, type thing. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but just, you've got like DMs and stuff. You just,
right.
What's that person, what kind of messages is that person getting?
Yeah.
A little bit different to maybe the average guy.
Yeah, exactly.
In his inbox.
You know that he's idolised, which is very strange position to be
I
in
remember actually going to a club once, and I think I was feeling a bit shit that night anyway. We had like a lot of arguments. But I think maybe that came from me being insecure. Maybe it was the way that he made me feel. I don't really know. I think it was just a bit of a bad blend for that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was this time we went to a club, and there were loads of like really hot girls, like probably were fans at the time when they were, really big.
Yeah.
And they were just like working there, I think. And they were just like literally like, naked, just like bra, pants, just strutting around like models. I think it was like a Cosmopolitan thing or something. And they were like, oh, can we get a photo? And there were like loads of them. There were like 3 or 4 of them. And he was just there posing with them, and they were like draped over him. And I remember just standing there being like, oh my God. And he just looked over at me and was like, help me. And that's when I was like, come on.
Yeah, you don't need help.
You don't need my help.
Yeah, you are fully in this.
You are loving this. And, it's moments like that where they're trying to make you feel better because it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. But how did you meet him? Like, how did that come about? Because was it through music?
Yeah.
He knew you through, like, the Def Havana stuff? Or?
Yeah.
Was it?
No, I think it was a cover that I did.
Of one of their songs?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah. I was quite young then, though. That was, like, very much prior to us actually, like getting together.
And what, so you put that on YouTube and he just messaged you? Like, what was it?
No, I think there was some kind of tour happening, like an acoustic tour, and he contacted my manager at the time and was like, do you want to come and support?
Oh, wow. So
So I
hella big
supported.
opportunity for that kind of time in your career, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't like a massive tour though. There weren't like that many people.
What kind of arenas?
It wasn't
What
an
kind
arena. It was just like normal,
like
big
O2
venues.
Academies and stuff? Or
Like King Tut's kind of
Oh,
vibes.
okay, yeah. So they weren't big at all then?
No.
I guess that explains then why when it got to their peak and you were like on the cover of all these magazines,
Yeah, that was...
that you're like, I don't really see it. Because
Exactly.
you've gone on with it, you've grown with it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then how did it break down? Were you just like, I'm done with this kind of lifestyle?
I think it was just getting to the point where I wanted to do music. I wanted to just do stuff for myself, and yeah, I just didn't like how the whole thing was making me feel.
Were you always kind of known as, oh, that's that person's girlfriend?
Yes, and that is something that really bothers me.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't want to be that, you know?
Yeah, that would make me want to die
I
a
think
little
it made
bit
anyone
inside.
want to die, really.
Yeah.
So, no.
Is it weird now, like a few years on, looking back at that and being like, geez, what a strange time, or like, I was a different person, or...
Different person,
Yeah.
definitely. And I can't see myself... I don't think I can see myself really doing it now.
What, being in that kind of relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've grown. I think I've learned from it.
Yeah, I feel like I remember being at my old house when we lived close together, and we were probably both like writing a list of like pros and cons or something, or stuff that was literally going to help you out of it, because you were in a bit of a hole for a while, weren't you?
It fucked me up for a long time.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, confidence-wise. And I think at the same time, I didn't really know what I wanted to do musically as well. I think I'd gotten to the kind of end of my kind of poppy stint, because I had an old manager, and that kind of ended. I came out of my contract with the solo stuff that I was doing, and I wanted to do music so badly. I wanted to get back on it. I wanted to be the person that I was before, you know, that relationship. And I think I just wanted to kind of be my own person again and discover what I was going to do next musically. And I kind of think we both knew deep down that that couldn't have really happened if we were together.
Right. And did it take a while for you to actually detach? It's not easy to just kind of get...
It was pretty sudden.
Was it?
Yeah.
Do you want to go into detail?
I feel like it's really... I mean, I don't really know what happened, but the last time we saw each other, as you know, being in a relationship, I didn't know that was going to be the last time, and I knew he was going to LA. I think things were just a little bit weird, because, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I think I was quite difficult. I think that I think where my insecurities came out, I just kind of would just get annoyed very easily, and then the more that started happening, it just became more of a thing.
Right.
I think I think the bad side kind of came out of me, maybe. I think he was just a bit like, why am I doing this now, you know? Oh,
wow. So you kind of both went through the up and downs.
Yeah, we it was very extreme. I think we kind of tormented each other a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got some good songs out of it though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why can't I remember my favourite song of yours? What the hell is it called? That's All. That's about him, right?
Yeah.
And about him kind of moving to LA.
Yeah, he went to LA, and then I kind of just... it was all just kind of like, not mind games, but it was all just stuff that just really affects you, you know, in the head.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not being... I'm being a bit vague.
No, but you're allowed to be. It's definitely like it was a very odd relationship, and
there was a lot of like back and forth by emails and things, and I just think I'm glad it kind of ended when it did.
Yeah. What would you think if he ever heard this? Would you feel embarrassed about him hearing any of it, or would you? He knows everything that you've said.
I think I know what he's like. I think he'd be annoyed that I was mentioning it.
Really? But it's your life.
And you're my friend. If it was anyone else, I would not be talking about it. 100%.
And it's my podcast, so.
And it's your podcast, so yeah.
Well, I appreciate you opening up about it. It's definitely like, It's so funny whenever we go out on like a Friday or Saturday night and we'll be in Pop World dancing and then one of their songs will come on and me and my friends just stare at Portia like, ah, there you go, it's another
I think
one.
I told him last time actually. I think I like
Really?
sent him a little video. Just like, this is happening right now.
Every time we come here, it plays.
Yeah. No, we're still friends.
That's
and
good.
I'm glad that we're friends.
Yeah. What a roller coaster.
It was a roller coaster, definitely.
What do you remember, like your lowest point in that relationship?
Um,
Was it like a particular, you on tour with them ever? And...
yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of I just don't think that I was the person. I wasn't the ideal version of myself in that relationship. I think I must have just come across as like so and so's girlfriend, and I was quite a bit younger than him as well.
What was the age difference?
I think like 8 or 9 years.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
How old is he? What the fuck?
I don't know. I'm not keeping track.
In my head, I thought he was like 2-3 years older.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how I thought that.
You know that wouldn't make any sense,
I know,
would
but
it?
he comes across really young faced.
Yeah.
How? I don't know.
Yeah. And also, yeah, just the fact that I wasn't really doing my own thing. You know?
Yeah, that really like takes out of you if you're essentially living in someone else's life, and every day you're just like, oh, I'm with them doing this and this. You've got no time to just do yourself. That would fuck you up.
And
eventually.
I think you're more likely to have arguments because things do just come up when you've got like no time. You know, when you've got no time to kind of, you're just kind of waiting around.
Yeah.
And you're just thinking about stuff.
Yeah. Man, crazy.
Overthinking.
And so, leading on from that, what would you say is, and this is going deep, not relationship now, we're over that bit.
Okay.
But what would you say is the most traumatic thing to have happened to you in your life so far?
Ooh.
The thing that's like really fucked you up the most? Because I thought this is, I think, my favourite question to ask anyone ever, because life is pain, essentially.
Yeah, true.
And so I'm wondering what yours is, because I've known you now for a couple of years, but I don't feel, apart from like relationships and stuff, the ongoing day stuff, I don't think I've ever heard you say something in your past that fucked you up.
Do you know what? Like, I genuinely, and I know this is probably like not the most deep thing considering, you know, the whole podcast.
It doesn't have to be deep.
But I do feel really lucky that I haven't really experienced anything massively traumatic that has changed.
That's amazing.
Me.
Yeah.
Apart from that relationship, really.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be able to say that, you know, a relationship was that, I guess.
Well, to be fair, before Mum dying, I would have said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, almost saying to Josh, like, I feel like I'm due something bad because my life has been so kind of fine. And the thing is, though, but when you tell your friends about things that have happened in your life, say like my dad cheating on my mum and all that kind of stuff growing up, they'll be like, oh, that must have been pretty hard. That's something traumatic. But because it's so ingrained in my childhood and something that doesn't really affect me on my day-to-day, I don't think of it as something traumatic. Whereas I'm sure there have been things in your childhood that have happened that are just so normal to you that you wouldn't even think to bring them up as traumatic, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think at school I was just a bit of an outcast, and I know that's also a very cliched thing to say, like, nobody got me.
But like, wait, were you bullied? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Really?
I was.
That's pretty traumatic.
Yeah, but I think I took it so on the chin.
Why is that the most you thing ever? They're like, you're a slut, you're a whore. You're like,
oh no, it wasn't that. It was like, what the, you know, like.
Like, I'm obviously great. Wait, what would they say?
No, but deep down, I think when I was younger, I think I did have more confidence. I was like, I'm great, fuck you.
That's amazing. That's so unheard of.
But no, but I didn't say it to them.
But
it was just like the way
you.
it was like in my head. So like if anyone ever did anything, I would just fight back, and I would be like standing alone, like the girl that fought back. But it's just you know, you kind of just I don't think I was ever what's the word that I'm looking for? Is it submissive? Like when you just kind of let things happen, you let some. I was not like that. If someone said something to me, or I don't know, I'd punch them.
Essentially, I'd knock the shit out of them. Is that real?
I would.
I can't imagine you being aggressive at all.
No, not aggressive, but like kids can be so mean.
Yeah.
I'm talking about kids. I'm not saying in high school I went around beating people up. It's definitely not what it was.
I kind of wish you did. No, I'm joking. I can't imagine you doing.
But I remember actually at high school, a girl was bitching about me right next to me. And I was like, are you being serious? I can hear you. And she carried on. So I just went over and tipped my drink over her head. We became friends though after that.
Oh my God.
But it was just stuff like that. Like I just couldn't be bothered with it. I was just, maybe I was provoking it. One could say that.
Right.
But
a little face and you're like, oh. So it seems to me there's kind of like a...
I was a fighter.
In a really, really, really good way. You seem to go through life and kind of like everything's like water off a duck's back. Like that you're just kind of like, yeah, like obviously we've spoken about like music and how difficult this career could be and how low you can get. But in terms of like actual events and people, you seem to kind of get up very quickly when things get you down.
Really? I don't know.
That's how I see you. Is that not how you feel?
I guess like it's just different when you're living with it in your own head.
Yeah. You seem so strong to me with everything.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a massive compliment. I don't know.
You're a mystery to me, Portia Conn. You really are.
Why am I such a mystery?
Because I can't work you out.
What? I'm with friends.
I know, but that's why I love you. It's fascinating trying to dive into your brain. Because I'm like, but what about this? And you're like, I'm not sure. I think just X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, but why Z?
But I'm aware of that. That's my problem.
It's not a problem. I find it fascinating. So I wanted to get you on here
to try and squeeze it out.
Yeah. Okay, pick another question. I mean, fucking number, not question.
14.
14. Oh, this is good. I say that with every fucking question. Maybe because I picked 70 of the ones that I like. Yeah. What are you most determined to do in your life?
Boom. I think I am most determined to write music, play music, live music.
Now that is a quote if I ever heard.
I think, no, but I do. I just want to do it.
You're living that.
I know. And I'm happy. And I think a lot of people kind of just say like, oh, I'm not going to be happy till I do this.
But you're like, you're realising, I am actually happy
It's
right now.
about the process. The process is the most important thing. But everyone, I mean, people should know that.
By now, yeah, you'd think. But I would be surprised. Like, even with Dan on that last podcast. For the love of God, podcast. The amount of people that live in that, like, oh, I'll be fine when I get to that point. I'll be happy when I get there. Life does not work like that. When you get to that point, you're going to have your own set of problems then, and things are going to be even shitter then. Maybe someone will have died. Exactly. I always bring that up now. But it's true, because you just never fucking know. And so to actually be in this moment and have just signed a deal or whatever it is, to be able to live off music and be like, shit, this is it. This is all I wanted. I'm going to appreciate it.
Lucky. Like, for me, right now, this is making it. This is just something I've wanted for so long, to get to the point where I could just be doing music full time. That's insane to me. I have been working in restaurants, job after job that like I've worked everywhere in Bristol.
I know. The amount of times I'll meet Portia and she's like, I got another job now. What happened to the other one? Yeah, I quit.
Literally, I have friends that are like, wait, I see you everywhere.
I know.
Working.
I feel like you've worked everywhere in Bristol.
I worked everywhere. And I did that for 10 years, not in Bristol, but just those kind of jobs, hospitality stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy it. I literally did it to make money. And, doing that 10 years, when you get to that point where I could have given up on the 5th year.
Yeah.
And I'm not like bigging myself up, being like, oh yeah, I deserve it. But I'm saying like,
you're allowed to.
I could have given up 5 years in and been like, oh, it's not going to work. And, I had...
And you carried the fuck on.
You have these voices and you hear certain things from, like, friends, parents being like, oh, but, what have you done? Like, no, I'm going to. Like, I knew that I was going to be able to, I just wanted to do it, really. It's not going to happen until you carry on. It's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, you're actually doing it. What was it like? Because Portia used to work at a place called Pinkman's. Mm-hmm. Loved their hot chocolate, by the way.
Yeah, that was the last place I worked.
And I remember you texted me being like, I get to quit next Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. How the hell did that feel? Like, working that 10 years
I was like crying with happiness.
on that last day, being like, this is it.
I was crying with happiness. I would like wake up in the night and I'd just be like, this is
Oh
real.
my God, that's amazing.
And I don't think, touch wood, I'm not going to take it for granted because it's just been a long time of, dreaming and waiting for this kind of thing to happen. And
yeah. And now it's here.
yeah. And I just want to make the most of it and just get on with it.
Well, I mean, it seems like you're always kind of in the studio with Jay, right? And
Yeah.
writing.
But then obviously there are times where you're like, am I managing my time right? We've talked about this before.
100%.
When you're responsible for your own kind of self-fulfillment, it's like, when does that end, When do you...
Yeah. It's really difficult. I mean, it's one thing talking about it on here, I guess, because a lot of people that support me, and emotionally and financially with Patreon, are going to be hearing it. But it is really hard to motivate yourself every day when it's like, I mean, obviously, granted, the last few months have just been a shit show anyway, so we'll cast those aside. But apart from that, like, to get up every day and be in this flat that I've been in every single day, and to be like, okay, get up and do music and then make sure you do this and do this, and it's just so fucking hard to motivate yourself, and especially when I guess you're not really that inspired to write music, to just sit there and force yourself to do it takes any fun out of it. So I've definitely fallen in and out of love with music a hell of a lot over the last few years. And so that's actually why I'm extra grateful for this podcast, because it means that when I get to do music now, it will feel more like a hobby again, and that's what I think I need.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky enough to be drinking wine at
I
2
know.
p.m.
How amazing is
on
that?
a day of the week that I actually don't know because of
Because of life.
because of life.
That's what I said. Like, fucking great. How lucky are we?
So lucky.
And like, thinking that's what's the most annoying, or I get more annoyed with myself, because I know how lucky I am.
Yeah.
And every day I'm fucking so aware of it, which is why I beat myself up when I don't do things.
Well, the thing is, it's the same with anything, though, isn't it? Like, you are going to be like, have I done enough? Have I done enough?
Yeah.
And
what a crappy way to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. And there'll be days where you wake up and you do feel like shit and you don't want to do anything, and that's okay as well.
Yeah. Have you ever been like depressed?
I mean,
Have you like gone kind of around the edges of it?
I've had anxiety really badly.
Have you? Because that's something I've never experienced, but from
You've
hearing,
never had anxiety.
as in like I felt anxious about things, and I felt really anxious about things, but never to the point where people describe like terrified of going out, panic attacks, anything like that. So that, I mean, just hearing about it from friends and family terrifies me. And you've come close to that, have you?
I had it really, really badly.
What's it like? Because I just
It is
don't
the
understand
worst
it.
thing in the world.
Is it?
Yeah.
So what would like a normal day be like for you?
I feel like I'm a lot better now because of an experience I had that literally changed my life.
What was that?
So it was around about the time that I kind of stopped doing the first batch of my music life.
Right.
And my old manager was my best friend. I was friends with all of his friends. We were kind of a similar age, and I used to go and hang out with them all on weekends and stuff, and it was a really fun time of my life. And he was, like my best friend, and I just didn't feel like it was working out. It got to the point where I felt like it just kind of stayed at this level. It wasn't really going anywhere. And I got to the point where I was like, I don't think I'm really happy with the music that I'm doing anymore. And I remember just having to kind of basically like tell him that I didn't want to work with him anymore. And it was like a breakup.
Really?
Yeah, I cried. And he was just like, okay. And I was just there like, I'm really sorry. But yeah, it was after that I was really, really lost. I went through a massive chunk of time not doing any music. I couldn't write. Wasn't inspired at all. That lasted like 4 or 5 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. I had no clue. And I went on holiday with my family, and it was a really nice place. I think it was Breckenridge in Colorado, and it's really, really, like, the altitude is crazy high, like one of the highest places you can go, for skiing and things. And I don't know if it was something to do with the altitude and feeling really anxious, but I kept getting really bad panic attacks, and I would get shooting pains up my arm. And this is the thing, like with anxiety, physically it can affect a certain part of your body.
Yeah.
So, you know, you might get pins and needles in your head, you might, you know, just get like a sharp pain in your leg or something. But for me, it was my arm, and it felt like I was having a heart
I was
attack
gonna say.
every time. Before I really knew much about anxiety, now I'm like, I know everything. I did a lot of reading up on it, but before I knew anything really about it, I just thought that I was having a heart attack, like constantly. I was like, why is my arm gone numb? You know, why am I getting shooting pains? Why am I getting pins and needles in my head? And it got so bad that I remember like waking up in the night and not knowing like what this feeling was, because it was just so intense. And then I was out with my mum shopping somewhere, and it just like exploded. Basically, I had this like 2-hour long hyperventilating fit. I was like, before it happened, I was like, I do not feel right, I don't feel right. And the fire brigade had to come, and there was this really nice lady who was trying to, you know, she thought I was having a heart attack. She was like, shit, she's having a heart attack. I was like, oh, I'm having a heart attack. 'Cause I didn't know.
Oh my God.
I didn't know what was going
What the hell
on.
it was.
And
when all you ever hear is shooting pains down your arm, it's a heart attack. Then what else would you think it is?
And I just didn't know. And I was hyperventilating as well. And the fire brigade came, and they were like, if you don't stop hyperventilating, you're gonna do some damage to your brain. You're gonna starve it of oxygen. You know,
Fuck.
You'll pass out or whatever. And yeah, 2 hours of pure hyperventilation. I couldn't calm down. And then they gave me diazepam or something, and I remember the doctor giving it to me, because they give you stuff in America. They just give it out.
They just fucking
give it to you.
Right.
It's kind of, you know, and they gave me diazepam, and that fucked me for like 7 months.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
In what way?
It was like a prolonged panic attack. Ever since I took that pill, I have not had an actual panic attack. I have not hyperventilated or had a panic attack as you kind of know it since that. Yeah, it really just did something to my brain. And my mum was just like, a light just went out, you know, like your eyes just like
dulled.
Yeah. And she was like, it was like someone just put like a white sheet over you. She was like, you just didn't seem right. And that went on for 7 months. I was just in a massive daze. I had depersonalization, derealization.
I've heard a lot about this.
So badly. And I couldn't stop twitching. It was bizarre. I couldn't leave the house. I lost so much weight. The only time I felt like I could be remotely, you know, focused was running. So I would go to the gym and just run on the treadmill for literally hours and hours and hours.
And no wonder you lost loads of weight.
Yeah, but that was the only way. And I would read. I didn't sleep at all. I read like 2 books a night.
Oh my God.
It was I don't know what happened. My mum had to sleep in bed with me for a long time because I would just be like freaking out.
And so do you think that was because of this kind of lost feeling that you maybe weren't addressing, so it was just manifesting physically?
To this day I don't know what it was. And I remember running out into the garden like every night, just being like, I need to get off, like what is happening, like really panicking, and it felt like I was just trapped.
Oh my God.
Like so weird. And I felt like the garden was like a cubicle, and it was just getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and nothing. I just couldn't escape. And then that eventually, like this weird imbalance or whatever was happening at that time, it just faded. And I think I just learned how to deal with it after that. I read so much on it. I read so many books on it, and just kind of learned that you can, with anxiety, to an extent, you can control it. Right. And I think just having that peace of mind in the back of my head just made me think, I'm not going to have it now.
Yeah.
I'm not going
Knowing
to...
that you can kind of like control it to some extent. You're kind of like, I've got this. Dish.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty traumatic...
That was traumatic. Yeah, it was really traumatic. And I think that's definitely made me who I am today because, before then, little things would set me off. I would be panic attacking left, right and centre.
I had no idea.
No,
at all.
Not many of my friends do. I don't really like talk about it because I don't know. I just feel like unless you've been through something like that, I don't really know how to explain it.
Yeah, and
it was just so weird.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I will not ever pretend to understand or, to kind of be one of those people who are like, oh yeah, I know that I think I get that. Yeah, I get anxious sometimes because I'm like telling you, I've never experienced anything like that.
So lucky.
I know, I really know. Like, I hear about these stories and they sound terrifying.
But something else I learned is that adrenaline, when you're feeling like you're going to have a panic attack, it can only last 15 minutes. That feeling that you get before you have it, you just have to let the feeling wash over you. Like that horrible feeling, you just have to literally just embrace it and just say, you know, it's going to be over soon.
Wow.
Because it's when you start panicking about it, that's just when it blows up into hyperventilation.
And so what was your kind of experience with depersonalization and derealization? Because I've heard a lot from Dodie, I think Orla's friend, she's like a musician too, speaks about it a lot online. And from what I've heard, it's kind of like you don't really feel like yourself a lot of the time, and you're just kind
that I still get.
I think that, even hearing you say that makes so much sense knowing you. So much sense. I think that's why I find you so fascinating and
I think
mysterious.
that's something that has never gone for me.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're just kind of floating through life a lot?
Yeah.
Never hitting any sides? You're just kind of like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Wow.
But then I don't really get how other people don't have that. So when you're like, oh, you're really mysterious to me, you know, and I don't get that. For me, it's just so normal.
Yeah, and by the way, when I say that, it's not to romanticize it. It's more like that's just how I see you. But obviously, when you're living
and that baffles me though, because I'm just like, but how? Like, why?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's kind of all that you can remember or know of yourself. Then why would it?
Yeah.
But does that kind of, that whole thing ever, does depersonalization and stuff make you feel low? Or is it just every day you're just a bit like what does it feel like, if you know what I mean?
It just feels like you're a vessel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Explain a bit more. What do you mean?
I mean, I haven't had, I don't think I've had something that's made me feel out of the ordinary for years. So I can't remember what exactly it feels like, but it's kind of like you get tunnel vision and it just feels like no one around you is real and you're in a dream.
Wow.
And that is really scary when you feel like reality isn't real.
Yeah.
You're literally floating around in a dream and it's almost like people aren't even really there. It's so hard to explain.
So like, I'm fascinated by that. How does that affect your like relationships and like your day-to-day stuff? Like, does it kind of...
I don't know, because I don't know what to compare it to.
True. That's fascinating.
Yeah, but the dream thing is scary.
Is it?
Have you never had that where you felt like you're walking around in a dream?
I mean, I guess maybe like after I've done drugs.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Yeah, just...
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs.
So are there any other areas in your life then that are kind of like that happened, but you're just like...
Ever since then, nothing can beat that, to
really?
be fair. So I feel like it's just made me just chilled about stuff now.
Yeah, I guess because that was the fucking peak. Nothing else can really affect you that much. I mean, that's cool.
I don't get like sheer panic, but obviously, I don't know, I'll think detrimental thoughts. I think that's come across quite clearly in this podcast.
What kind of detrimental thoughts?
Just like putting yourself down and like, oh,
no, I mean,
how do I come across? Well, and same with like, if I go into a shop, I'm convinced that they think I'm shoplifting.
Wow, really?
Stuff like that. I'll be like,
I'll
walk around with my hands like just really not shoplifting, you know, because I just think they're going to think I'm shoplifting. So
why would they think that?
I don't know. Silly things.
I love that though. I find that so fascinating that you think like that.
The other day I did it. I walked in. I did not shoplift. I just walked in and I was like, just flapping my hands around.
Not shoplifting, folks.
Because I just don't know. I just didn't want them to, just really stupid stuff.
Anyway, thanks for coming.
It's okay.
And for opening up and for drinking wine. I'm not shoplifting, I promise.
Yeah, that sounds ridiculous.
No, it doesn't. It's fascinating. I find you fascinating, which makes me sound like a lesbian, and that's okay.
Why does that make you sound like a lesbian?
Because I'm always like, you're so crazy and amazing and pretty and wonderful. Which is true. But I also say that about Josh. Anyway, thanks for coming. And have a nice life.
Have a lovely time.
Okay, check out Mauwe, follow Portia on social media at Portia Conn, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.